Okay. Why I advocate the Zeitgeist movement. Um, I don't generally respect the idea of advocating, as it implies I'm pressing other people to decide something that really matters without their being calmly objective. I'd rather say I participate in the Zeitgeist movement. I view the Zeitgeist movement as a cultural trend towards humane social engagement. I feel inspired to be in on that. That I understand, the root idea is that the use of money is like a form of mind-altering drug addiction for most people. That, like heroin, is only nice while it's getting more intense, and then is hell to get back out of. I observe little social poison coming out of an opportunity for a direct trade event where both parties clearly see and feel the benefit to the other person. But money seems like taking for free. I feel no one else's benefit in the exchange. I give only a promise of benefit. It is emotionally hollow, even heartless on my part, but somehow most of my friends delight in that experience. They want that feeling of doing a robbery, of benefit that isn't mutual. So it feels valid to view money as a worldwide cancer of people wishing for an opening to do a robbery. Though many of my friends do their work with an expression of pride, I often hear them remark about hoping for getting more money or more direct benefit from some faithless other people with less contribution of benefit to anyone else on their own part. And no one looks embarrassed to express this outlook. Oddly, it is just as widespread on the Zeitgeist Movement forum, with overt remarks looking forward to a chance to benefit more while contributing less to the benefit of anyone else. People write this explicitly into the forum, as if they hope the Zeitgeist Movement will give them that. My hope from the Zeitgeist Movement is a seeding of meaningful study of this systemic heartlessness, designing whatever works for remediation of the tragic aspects of current economic tradition, the starving of the bad player. My guess about what sort of social innovation will ultimately shake down is somewhat different than that imagined by Peter Joseph and Jacques Fresco, but neither of them has proposed any concrete social innovation ideas or demonstrated any skill interpersonally. So I think of them as prophets rather than social designers. I grew up in a family that didn't use money to handle feelings in any way that I observed. We made our own. To an outsider, that would probably appear to be a failing of my family, and my parents have regret about it, but I didn't question my treatment then, and in retrospect I think it prevented me getting into a bad habit with being exploitive of other people, even in the hidden way that money facilitates. Though my family expected me to go to college and get a sophisticated job once I was in college in a new town doing odd jobs on the weekend, I discovered that people pay very generously for work that is interesting and easy to learn, and that there is little that I need money for. School was hard and lonely, and life was easy and full of possibilities for someone with copious spare time, so I quit school. I commenced 30 years of social innovation experiments and explorations. I have met many people in my life who likewise relate to trade like a screwdriver in the drawer, to be pulled out when needed for a technical task and then put back and forgotten. They are never broke, and they seek real human contact to express feelings. Most are not famous or publicly admired, but I don't think any of them would want to be. Their life has no crazy stress, and they like it that way. Most of them have plenty of spare time and human interest that can include me, which I appreciate. Though none are members of the Zeitgeist movement, I think of them as participants in the sense that matters to me. I have been in on a great many businesses and group efforts and communal living arrangements, and I have studied many others. Without finding even one that I could unconditionally advocate. The Zeitgeist movement is no exception. Several people in the Zeitgeist movement have presumed me a naive, misguided outsider, because, though I live mostly collectivist, I don't advocate living collectively. And I express respect for trade traditions of all kinds. I live resource-based and minimally financial because life is much nicer to me that way, but I am open to others living other ways. The stories about terrible poverty and violence don't affect me the same as others in the Zeitgeist movement, because I lived for 2 months in Ethiopia, and I have had quite a few violent associates and friends. Wealth looks to me like a tragic addiction, like a cigarette habit. The Ethiopians look far happier than my current neighbors. And violence has been very rare in my life. I surmise that it is only granted to people who pray for it and admire it when an opportunity shows. I have been personally, brutally attacked, and it was not important. I have been a refugee, and it was not important. And I have been sexually objectified, and it was not important. Always the social criminals sought my validation of the feeling they directed at me, so as best I could, I answered their wish. And then I took the focus a friendly direction. Whenever possible, I have anticipated concern and planned for it, so as to better meet an antagonist with friendly initiative. To me, the Zeitgeist movement is an offer of collectively engaged study to develop a social system or theory that can focus on the divine possibilities of wealth and human sharing, and can encourage people to be nice to each other. So I brainstorm in the Zeitgeist Movement Personal Action Wiki, and I write commentary on my website to clarify my confusion, and for my friends to read. I'd like to encourage all of you to give the Zeitgeist Movement a look. Not to pledge allegiance to it, but to look at the questions it raises and cook up your own answers, at least for your own use. For those of you who are completely unfamiliar, the latest movie by Peter Joseph, called Zeitgeist Moving Forward, is free on YouTube and is a brilliant and reasonably broad explanation of what it is about for the fellow who started it.